people, it's Ellie here. I am back with a new video, and it is the most exciting video I've done in a very long time. So, for those of you who do not know, the BookTubeAthon is approaching. The BookTubeAthon is a yearly readathon every summer here on YouTube. Readers all across the platform get together and bond over their love of books. So in light of the BookTubeAthon quickly approaching, I decided I'd give you guys my BookTubeAthon TBR. To be fair, I have very little confidence in myself this year. I am really overreaching for what I can accomplish. Last year I read either 8 or 9 books, and that was insane. To be fair though, I was in my room reading pretty much 24/7, aside from when I was playing Pokemon Go, because that came out like the same week. This year though, I am a lot more busy the week of the BookTubeAthon. I have work every single day, and I'm going home to visit friends and family, and on top of that, I'm planning to read 7 books. Let alone the fact that my page count for my TBR is 2,680 pages. That's insane for any normal week, let alone BookTubeAthon where I'm busy. Either way, I'm still gonna try and complete the BookTubeAthon. My goal is to get all 7 books in, but I don't know if that will happen. Also, I have no idea if this TBR will actually stick. I'm being very optimistic this year, and chances are I will switch books. As of right now, I have 3 audiobooks and 4 actual books, so I'm hoping that will work in my favor. I know last year I did a really good combination of audiobooks and physical books, so I was reading one of each at the same time, so when I got tired of one I could switch to the other and like rest my eyes. So I'm hoping to do that again this year, but we'll see. And without further ado, this is my BookTubeAthon TBR. The first challenge is to read a book with a person on the cover, and for that I'm reading Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. I have been wanting to get to this book for so long. And actually, if I'm gonna be honest, I read the first like half chapter. I have like post-it notes where I'm marking things, but I stopped reading it for 2 reasons. The first being it is very much a readathon book. I will zoom through this. And secondly, and a bit more alarming, I am currently writing a novel, for those of you who do not know, and without knowing, my novel is creepily identical to this book. Like, I didn't know the plot of this book until I started reading it the other week, and now I'm kind of freaking out because the book I've been working on for 2 years now is so much like this. So if anything, I want to read this just for research and how not to make my book like this book. But for those of you who don't know what this book is about, it follows a girl named Emily who was left a to-do list by her best friend Sloane after she's gone missing for the summer. So it sounds like a lot of adventure and first times and all that kind of cute contemporary kind of stuff. The second challenge is to read a hyped book, and for that I'm reading Rebel Belle by Rachel Hawkins. This book was huge on BookTube like 2 or 3 years ago, and because of that, I bought it, and I have yet to pick it up. I don't know much about this book, but what I do know is that it's about a normal girl who goes to homecoming only to be turned into a paladin and is then forced to protect the person she hates most at school. I've only heard great things, and that has a kick-ass character and it's really funny, so hopefully this will be a really fast read. The third challenge is to read a book in 1 day, and for that I'm reading It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. This is my first audiobook on the list, so I'm hoping it will go fairly quickly. I also don't know anything about this book. I've been meaning to read a Colleen Hoover book for a very long time, and this, I believe, is her newest one, so I thought might as well start now. I also heard that it's best to go into this book blind, so all I know about this book is it's about a recent college graduate named Lily who lives in Boston. That's it, and that's all I want to know. The fourth challenge is to read about a character who is very different from you, and for that I chose to read Wilde by Cheryl Strayed. For those of you who don't know, this book is a memoir following Cheryl and her lows in life and why that led to her hiking 1,000 miles by herself on the Pacific Crest Trail. I don't know how I missed the hype about this book a couple years ago, but the first time I heard about it was on the Gilmore Girls revival. And ever since then, of course, I've just been wanting to read it because I love Lorelai. The fifth challenge is to read a book completely outdoors, and for that I'm reading All My Friends Are Superheroes by Andrew Kaufman. I have been wanting to read this for so long. It is Carrie Hope Fletcher's favorite book, and she's one of my favorite people in the whole universe, so I had to buy this, and I haven't gotten around to it yet, so I'd really like to do that this BookTubeAthon. It is about a guy named Tom who's married to a superhero, but she gets hypnotized into believing he's invisible. And then eventually she believes that he's abandoned her, but in order to save their marriage, he has to prove to her that he's still there. It sounds really interesting and like a really quick read, so hopefully I will love this. The sixth challenge is to read a book you bought because of the cover, and for that I'm reading Geminus by Amie, Kaufman, and Kristoff. This is a bit of a stretch for this challenge, but I'm counting this book because I bought the original book Illuminae based off the cover, and thus buying this book based off the cover. I bought them at the same time, and I heard a lot of hype about them, so I bought them both just because I knew I'd love it. And lo and behold, I loved the first book. So I want to finally get around to reading the second book. For those of you who don't know what the Illuminae files are about, they follow Katie, who breaks up with her boyfriend the day their planet gets attacked. And they are thrown onto different ships to fly across the universe to get away from the people chasing after them to kill all of them. And one of the unique things about these books are that they aren't told normally. Ooh, look at that. They're told through case files and chat logs, stuff like that. It is a really dense book, but since it's told so weirdly like that, I think it's a really quick read that hopefully I can get through. I also really want to try the audiobooks for these books. I don't know if I'm going to try and buy it for the BookTubeAthon and maybe read this on audiobook instead, because I read the first book normally, but I always hear great things about the audiobooks and how they're more of a production than an actual book, so maybe I'll try that out. And finally, the seventh challenge, as always, is to read 7 books, and for that I plan on reading A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. This is an author I've been meaning to pick up a book from for forever, but never got around to it. So what better time to pick up a V.E. Schwab book, or Victoria Schwab book, than a BookTubeAthon? This is another book I don't know much about, aside from it's about a girl named Kel who can travel between parallel versions of London. Ooh. Even that little synopsis gets me so excited. And that's my TBR. Hopefully my TBR won't change too much during the week, but honestly, you never know. If you want to keep up to date on my BookTubeAthon progress, check my Twitter, theimaginelly. I will be doing daily updates over there, and also I will probably do a wrap-up video on here, so keep an eye out and make sure to subscribe to see that. Subscribe. I said that weirdly. In the comments, let me know what you guys are planning to read this BookTubeAthon. I'd really like to know, and maybe get some recommendations, because who knows, I might change my mind on everything. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a like if you like, and subscribe, and that's it. So I'm gonna go. Bye! Happy reading!